Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Left Unread. My name is Cam, joined as always by my ornery and always awesome. What else is sort of alliterative? Starts with a vowel. Ornery, always awesome, opulent, olfactorily gorgeous friend Evan.
Okay. That's all you got? Nothing else?
I don't know, man. Hey, listen, I've heard nothing but like hammers and electric tools for the last several days. So on that note, you guys will probably hear that in the background. I'm living in the middle of a construction zone right now. So scheduling's been a little tough for us, but here we are. Evan's foot is fucked up, so he's in a fucking
so
foul mood.
And so for the patrons out there, I did send I sent out a Patreon update but for those of you who have elected not to sign up for the Patreon. So like basically I broke my foot a few weeks ago, pretty bad way. So luckily avoided surgery, but I mean I've been like laid up. I can't really like sit at a desk too well and do any work. So that's why like Cameron's living in a construction zone and my like foot is fucked up. So that's why we haven't really been recording lately. Hopefully I should only be in a boot for 2 more weeks now at this point. Really counting down those days. But you may also hear me just like kind of futzing around trying to find a way to like sit here comfortably without my entire like lower leg going numb. So we do apologize for any of the extra noise coming through your headphones in this episode.
There's going to be noise, and it's just been hard for us to find time to actually make this work. But here we are. We're going to talk about, because a lot of things have happened. And so we're going to record 2 episodes this week to try to make up for it. One will be part 2 of my like little Roanoke thing, and the other one we wanted to talk about all the things that have happened since last time we did an episode where we weren't talking about current events.
Yes, the quickly dawning Chinese century and the American century of humiliation.
Sure.
Yes.
So I guess right off the bat, we should talk about the whole tariff trade war thing that seems to be different every day. So I'm sure...
there's absolutely no stability whatsoever in this shit right now.
Yeah, and like I'm sure even by the time this comes out, which will be tomorrow... it'll already be different. But so basically we found ourselves in a situation, and I'm sure at this point everybody's, at least our listeners, are probably fairly well apprised of this. Since the early days of this last election cycle, Donald Trump has been talking about instituting these tariffs.
I mean, did the tariffs go all the way back to OG Trump 2016?
Was he talking about them back then?
Oh, yeah, man.
I don't even remember. I mean,
that's a Trump one thing.
So much has happened since then that I don't even remember that.
Yeah, you don't remember all the trade war talk with China?
Dude, it's all running together, brother.
Yeah.
Also, like, to be fair, 2016 Cam was a different guy. Yeah. A lot of different lifestyle going on back then. So, so I don't remember the tariff thing from back then. But I mean, even not that notwithstanding, like it's been bandied about, I guess, for a long time. And Evan and I have talked about this off air about like whether or not we think it's like an intentional swerve on Trump's part, or whether he at least actually like fundamentally misunderstands what a tariff is and how it functions. It seems kind of crazy to me at this point that he wouldn't have had somebody explain it to him, but he may just be so like up his own ass that there's no
senile
way to get. Yeah, I mean, definitely that, but combined with just like a really
obstinate old manism
and like an unearned self-confidence that has basically been the hallmark of his entire career.
Yeah.
So regardless, I mean, some combination of things. I think I at least have come around to feeling like he's got to be in on it, you know. And I don't know, how are you feeling today?
No. I think this is real for him. Like, and I think because I think Trump has a way of like recognizing situations and then just like going with, I guess, what would be the like an obvious yet stupid, like just like a way to like go about it that other people don't really even think to do. I mean, like let's be perfectly honest. Like the United States does want war with China. However, like basically at this point, China is so intertwined into the global, global markets that, like, I think, like, if the U.S. was just to go to war with China, I mean, it would, like, crash both of our economies.
Well, and it would also have, like, devastating economic consequences for the entire rest of the planet. It would be... and then, I mean, that's not even getting involved with, like, the potential for spillover or bringing, other allies into the fray. At this point, I don't know who right now would be super down to, like, step up to the plate with the U.S. Probably the UK. But, like, who else? Maybe not even them at this point.
Yeah,
like
the UK is it's just like a sick, mangy dog dying on the side of the road at this point.
Please, sir, spare us a bean.
Yeah. And maybe some jelly deals.
Spare us some parsley liquor.
But no, I mean, so I think basically all of our manufacturing has been outsourced to China. So if we were to actually go into like a hot war with China, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we want at least a Cold War with them again. And like basically China taking over the manufacturing for the entire Western world, basically, turns out to have been a pretty smart move on their part. It's, I wouldn't say that a lot of the living conditions for people who lived in the factories in China for, those decades were probably all that great. But I mean, that's basically what their gambit or what their calculus was things will be tough right now. But as we come out to the other side and re-socialize everything, we'll come out in a much, much stronger position, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, their like official stance in any interview I've seen with like government spokespeople on U.S. media has basically been like, we don't love this, but if the U.S. wants to escalate to the point where we have completely severed trade ties, we don't care. Yeah, like we will be okay. It's not the ideal outcome, but the Chinese government stance has basically been like, we will absolutely not blink first. Yeah, and fair enough. I mean, right? Like any sovereign nation that has the economic and military wherewithal to be able to establish themselves and their sovereignty like that. I mean, I think most people, regardless of your political leaning, have some notion that that's what should be allowed. I think a lot of Americans at this point probably feel like we should have that right and maybe no one else should. But it leads to these hysterical scenarios where, like, you've got the White House official Twitter account tweeting like, if you do not retaliate, you will be rewarded. And it's like, dude, like, and I tried to do a Baltimore accent for that on purpose because it sounds like something that a Baltimore guy would say. Like,
I mean, it sounds like something Lord Humongous would say.
Yeah. Which, just in case anyone's wondering, that took me a second because that is my like handle on like all gaming platforms. But also, famously the is that Road Warrior that Lord Humongous was?
Road Warrior.
Yeah. So the second Mad Max movie. Be still, my dog of war. Lose us weight. It's that movie fucking rules. It's and good because we're heading towards it. We're get your loincloths ready, folks, because it's time. I'm currently installing retractable like chariot scythe blades on my Honda Civic's wheels, so that I'll be able to wreak havoc across the wasteland. And having played Fallout 4, I feel like I'm uniquely prepared to weather the Boston metro area.
Which actually might be a
Chinese
slight improvement. Which
the reality would be way less whimsical and zany. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that the Fallout version of the future, while still horrifying, at least has that sort of cartoonish charm to it. I think the reality would be more like The Road.
Yeah.
Just heartbreaking forever. So
just eating babies. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
No.
I'm just go. You go.
Yeah. No, but I mean, so like that. I mean, that's the. Like I said, this was the calculus that China made, was to like. I mean, China learned a lot of lessons by watching the collapse of the Soviet Union, which during the 80s was, already well underway.
Yeah.
And the Soviet Union had basically. This is very much simplifying it, but the Soviet Union really tried ideologically to align other parts of the world with them, and for China to get people onto their side, it hasn't been really so much supporting like anti-imperialist and communist movements in say like Africa and Latin America and stuff, which the Soviet Union absolutely did, especially in Africa. I mean, the Soviet Union was really, really big in supporting African emancipatory movements. But China was more like, no, we'll just make the entire world completely dependent on us. Like, we will economically bring people into our fold. We won't do it militarily. We won't do it through ideology. We will economically drag the rest of the world into being intertwined with us, and that will obviously protect them until, you get to a point after a while when what they're doing right now is that they're re-socializing and that they're like, ascendant is seemingly at like a really like revolutionary pace right now. It's just like really year over year how much stronger they're getting, and obviously and now all of a sudden the United States is looking at that and they're like, oh fuck, like it might be too late now. I think it was the Cato Institute, but don't quote me on that. It was one of those like super right wing think tanks in DC released a report like a few years ago, I think in 2023, that basically said by 2025 the United States it's unclear if the United States would be able to win in an engagement one-on-one with China, and that by 2030 most likely the United States would not even be able to win outright in a military engagement with China. And I think the more war hawk people, especially on the right, although I mean obviously liberals
it's
are
tough
more
to
concerned
distinguish
with
at this point.
yeah, liberals are definitely more concerned with
and
Russia,
Democrats
but that's an ideological thing there.
Well, they're also pushed into being more hawkish by this like delusional idea that has been circulating in the Democratic establishment for the last
Hillary
10 plus
Clinton.
years, right? That like the way to win voters is to just become the old Republicans. As the Republicans move further right, Democrats just leech in and sort of try to appeal to those like Mitt Romney Republicans, whatever. And they're out there. Like I know some of them, but they're hardly the. I mean, I also live in Massachusetts, right? So like Massachusetts Republicans historically are not the most like vehemently insane. I mean, as a voting bloc, are not the most vehemently insane right wing demographic in the country. And I mean they're here, but like not historically they haven't been the majority. So like fair enough, but it's just so strange to watch. Like and I don't know that like I think you have to be pretty like fucked up and mainlining the Kool-Aid to not be feeling like we look a little impotent.
Yeah, well,
right?
and so here's the thing too that I wanted to say. Like the reason I think like the tariffs, like the Donald Trump's thing with the tariffs, is that it's legit, is because I think Donald Trump looks at tariffs as bring manufacturing back button. Like I mean, it's like this is why I was saying.
Yeah, I mean that's at least what they say
about his like this is like what I was saying before about how he see things in kind of this like stupid but obvious light. As I was like, okay, well. Obviously, like, we can't fight China if all of our manufacturing is in fucking China. We have no manufacturing base in this country. Why don't we just force everybody to bring manufacturing back by just making it super expensive?
Yeah.
To, like, import anything. And now, obviously, like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely been, like, tons of, like, insider trading going on with this. And, like, Donald Trump himself had even tweeted out, I think this was last Wednesday or Thursday, it's a good time to buy. And this was, like,
on Truth Social.
Yeah. 3 hours before, like, most of the tariffs were removed.
Or paused, at least, right? Right now we're saying paused.
But now they're unpaused again, or at least they're unpaused for certain people.
Yeah.
And obviously there was a lot of really funny stuff, too, people were pointing out, where they were putting tariffs on islands that are territories inhabited entirely by penguins. But, so it's just... Obviously,
I think the penguins have had it too good for too long.
I don't think they've had it good enough, actually. I think they should have it better.
I learned recently that penguins actually evolved in warm climates.
Huh.
Or, like, temperate climates.
Yep.
And then have since adapted and taken really well to Arctic climates, but they're not naturally Arctic birds.
Very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I just, for me, I do think Trump is like serious about this tariff thing.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, the whole stock thing and that tweet and everything.
Oh, dude, like Marjorie Taylor Greene made
like
a ton of money.
A ton of people did.
That's what I'm saying.
May 15th is like the date where they're technically supposed to disclose.
Yeah.
stock
I mean,
purchases.
and here's the thing. Like, I again do not put anything past these people. I don't necessarily think that there was a plan to do a ton of insider trading, but I think a lot of people, when they saw how the market's reacting, were like, "Hey, this could be really good."
Yeah. Oh, and
like, you know what I mean?
Then there's like the potential, like when we're in like on the precipice of like what could turn into like a free fall, you end up with like these massive like, you know, hedge fund managers and like financiers and people whose names you'll never know, who are like the real fucking big swinging dicks in Wall Street, just start like shorting positions and divesting, and like next thing you know, like everything's in free fall and we're the depression's happening. Now, I don't know. The only people that I know personally that are like financial minds that I would trust, like people who do it for a living or who, you know, have an educational background in that, aren't quite there yet in terms of like what they think is going to happen, but still it doesn't look good. Like it's going to hurt for a while. Best case scenario, I mean, this is going to hurt for a while.
I mean, basically what we're doing right now is like Chicago school style shock doctrine that we did to fucking Chile in the 70s, and that Argentina just did under that pedophile.
Milei.
Javier Milei, and
dude, they just got bailed out by
$20 billion by the IMF. I know, dude. Yeah, fucking God.
I bet he's made a ton of money.
Oh, yeah, he did. He got in trouble for doing a rug pull. He did, like, a crypto rug pull. Yeah. And then, like, everybody, that was, like, finally the thing that made people really hate him. And then he was like, no, man, I have no idea what's going on here. I don't know what you guys want from me.
Yeah, dude, I'm just, like, a weirdo with strange clone dogs. Like, I'm not... Yeah. Oh, did you think that I knew what I was doing?
Yeah.
Look at me.
I mean, dude, I just always remember, dude, he said the fucking weirdest thing one time, which was, what was it? He was like, I forget exactly what he called it. It was either he was calling socialism or international finance or whatever. He was like saying the reason that they needed to do these economic reforms because like social. I'm like butchering this, but he basically said socialism is like a pedophile with a bunch of children in the basement, and he's all looped up or something like that. And it was like, dude, somebody check this dude's hard drive immediately. That is the weirdest fucking thing anybody has ever said. Like, dude, if you think about it that much, I'm sorry, dude, you are the pedophile.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, no, he's got the look.
Oh,
he's got a real Chester the Molester vibe.
Yeah, dude.
I heard somebody say that the other day for the first time in a really long time.
Yeah,
like call somebody Chester the Molester, and I was so tickled. That was a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
there was like a joke similar to that in Succession where they had like an uncle in the family who was touching on people, and they called him Uncle Lester, I do believe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, Uncle Mo. They called him Uncle Mo, as in Mo
Lester.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so to be perfectly honest, I don't know really what's going on.
Yeah.
However, I did see a video of JD Vance dropping the college football trophy yesterday. Which
oh, did
college football yeah. Of all, dude, as like a guy who like really like looks for the
JD Vance trophy is the first thing that comes up.
Dude,
I'm gonna watch it with no
there's no trophy that he could have dropped that would have been worse than dropping the college football.
Yeah, I mean, talk about like, you know, you wrote an elegy for these people, man. Like,
yeah,
at least respect their gods and idols.
Yeah, but no, he just cannot ingratiate himself with the Rust Belt, salt of the earth people that he claims to represent.
Oh, it like broke apart.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think it had already been broken. And they were trying to tell him how to pick it up, and he was like, yeah, whatever, and he just grabs it and then just drops it.
Oh, wow, yeah, and now they're like, so now he's just doing a photo op with the top of it. They
just
ditched
part of it.
The base.
Dude, and the look on his face, you know he's just, like, seething. Like, dude, his blood was probably running at 120 degrees or something at that point.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, my God.
No. But...
Tell you what, if I was on that team, I wouldn't fucking go. But
who
even won?
It was Ohio State.
Ohio State?
Yeah, Ohio State.
There you go. I mean, those are his people.
Yeah,
that's even worse.
Yeah. I will say I do find it funny that like this is, you know, we talked about this too, about how it seems that everybody has like gotten on board with Trump this time.
Yeah.
There's the one that like I found really interesting, and I'm not going to make a comment one way or the other. I think the people who I think that there's like certain people out there, obviously much more liberal-minded than I am, who like think that you're making some big statement or like doing some
I think
kind
I know
of
where you're going with this.
like that just by not showing up that you're somehow like doing some sort of like organizing or whatever. Or
Right.
this is like some big statement. And it's just like, dude, no. Like, honestly, I don't give a shit one way or the other if, like, an athlete... Like, for me, honestly, I think I don't think Donald Trump is, like, that much worse than any president. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I find George W. Bush to be so much more personally offensive to me than Donald Trump. I think every president that has ever existed should probably be burning in hell when they die, and it would be right for them, too. Like, they should all be tried in The Hague. It's a job where you just do war crimes. It is a job where you just do crimes against humanity. And so I know that Donald Trump is like, you know, he maybe
Definitely, I would say
done away
definitely in
with
the
it.
last 100 years. I mean, there are things about the time before that.
What about? Yeah, I'm sorry. There was a lot of slave owners, and you know.
Yeah, I know they were all slave owners.
The first like 80 years, and then after that, that was when the America just started
genocide,
raping and pillaging Latin America for the first time.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we just kept it inside our own house.
That's what I'm saying. Donald Trump.
It wasn't
is just,
on an international scale, evil on an
we
international
did it in
scale until World War II.
Yeah,
we've had our moments where we could have.
Yeah.
We
kept to our hemisphere before then. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, dude, we were doing like the banana wars and shit like that in Latin America.
That's true. That's
at the
true.
turn of the century. Like we took over Cuba, we took over the Philippines and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
well, it was our destiny. We had to manifest
exactly.
it.
So I'm just saying, every single president that has ever existed,
yeah, no, that's fair.
Is a
true.
monster at an unbelievable scale. And so Donald Trump is just, you know, he's the first one to. I mean, I would say LBJ was also pretty vile, but in a funnier way.
Yeah, he did some hysterical on a personal level,
yeah,
like just like guy to guy.
Like
he did some of the funniest shit any president has ever done.
The one story of him on his boat and he's pissing off the side of it, and he's just like, "Hey, do you guys want to know how warm the water feels?" Making the joke that his dick is long enough to reach the water.
He installed a special dick height jet in his personal bathroom in the shower so that he could wash his booty and his peen. And,
there's this one video or like phone call of him with a tailor. That's like in the presidential archives, and he's just like burping and shit in the middle of it, and he's saying,
"You gotta let the crotch out. It's too tight in the bung hole."
Yeah, from my taint to my bung hole. It's amazing.
It's hard not to love that on some level.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, so Donald Trump is the first one really doing away completely with norms and tradition. So it's just like, you know, he's. The facade is no longer there, and I think he's also like leaning into that. Like he's like, yeah, listen, we've lost credibility worldwide, so let's just stop pretending.
Mask off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mask off, man. This is who we are. Fuck you, pay us.
Right. We've always been this. Now we're just gonna straight up say it instead of everybody tiptoeing around and pretending that we're like some beacon of civilization. No, we're the
thug.
The warlords of planet Earth,
and you are going to pay us our tribute.
Right.
Like, I know, this is an excellent... And, like, that's the thing. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, they're both... I mean, and this is, like, they're just basically just, like I said, mask off. They're like, no, fuck you, pay us. We don't care that you've been our allies forever. Fuck you, pay us. They're just, like, doing away with any of the pretense that we're not, you know, a warlord country. And I will say that, like, it seems now that China is starting to... Like, China... and the EU have opened up talks to, like, become closer intertwined. China and fucking Vietnam, you know what I mean? Like, that has been a sour relationship since Nixon.
Right.
And since, you know, China basically sold out, you know, Vietnam and every other socialist country back at that point.
Indonesia, I mean, it was.
Yeah, the China was not doing so many nice, great stuff to the rest of the socialist world. In the 70s.
Yeah, I think China has the potential now to be cooler than it's ever been. I think
100%.
Historically, like since, what was it, 1930 something?
Yeah.
There have been plenty of times where I think it was not only like understandable, but like kind of right and good to be pretty critical of the Chinese government.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she is pretty rad, and he does seem to be actually genuinely committed to, re-socializing, as you've said.
Yeah.
And if that proves to be true, then I mean, I think I've been a little more reticent to jump on like the meme, like fire when ready bandwagon. But like, I do have to say that there's like something to be said about the way that they've handled. They just seem like they're handling this with a degree of dignity that this administration seems incapable of even lampooning.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, China is consistently disrespected. Constantly the West, to the point that, like, even, like, the thing that, like, obviously usually gets under skin about other, like, communists and whatnot is, like, they're not even allowed the dignity of their own name being what they want it to be. You know what I mean? Like, you have, like, the Communist Party of China. That's, like, the official name of the party. And it feels like how everybody, especially the more insane hawks on the right, just say CCP and, like, Chinese Communist Party and Chi-Com as, like, this slur. It's like this one last indignity that we're not even giving you. Like, we're not even giving you the dignity to use the name that you want us to use for you. No, you're not the Communist Party of China. You're the Chinese Communist Party. Like, it just feels like one nasty little dig that they just can't, like, help themselves.
That's one that specifically has bothered you for a long time.
Yeah,
you're a man of semantics, and you want things to be
old communist parties. Go the name Communist Party of Country. That's how it is. That's how you do it. And the Constitution for China. That's what their name is. That's their official name. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like the Communist Party of Soviet Union, Communist Party of the United States, Communist Party of China, Communist Party of Cuba, Communist Party of Vietnam. That's how you call it. But I digress. But anyway, yeah, and it seems like really like China for a while too. They were just like, yeah, fuck it, we'll throw some more tariffs on you too. Like, what the fuck does it matter? You don't make shit. Like, what are we getting from you? Like,
Yeah, what I mean? Oh yeah. There's been some hysterical like TikToks and stuff on Red Note where it's like, I'm sure you saw the one where it's like that guy with the glasses and he's like, "Hello, I'm from China. Here's everything in my house that's from the United States. It's nothing." Yeah. Do you have anything in your house that's from China? And then he just starts laughing, and it's like, yeah, dude, everything in this room that I'm in right now is Chinese. Or, in some way connected to Chinese manufacturing.
Yeah, I mean, even shit that's manufactured in the United States. Like even the automobiles.
The components
that's still a big thing. Yeah, they're put together somewhere else. We just finally take all of the made components and, like, do the build by numbers and piece them all together. But we don't make that shit here. Like, and then what was there? There was that story of Apple flying in Boeings filled with iPhones. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like flying in entire planes, like filled with billions of dollars in iPhones because they were just like, dude, the last helicopter out of Saigon or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, flying in all these things. Like, oh, well, these pigs are going to, if we have to manufacture these iPhones here in the United States, it's going to be a lot more expensive to buy one. Which, I mean, is also, this is, like, kind of like another thing that's, like, the United States really does still demand, like slave labor for all of our shit. Like, if we bring the manufacturing here to the United States, dude, the price is going to, increase what, 100-fold for some of this shit, like more than that even. I mean, there was also like a poll that I just saw today that said the percentage of Americans who think their lives will be made better if manufacturing comes back to the United States. It's 80%. The percentage of Americans that think that their life will be better if they work in a factory, 25%.
Right.
Like, this is an inherent contradiction. Like, yeah, man, like, I don't know. Like, industrializing is a bloody fucking business.
Yeah.
Every country that went through industrialization, it was a fucking bloodbath. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it is, whether a country is industrialized as capitalist countries, whether they industrialized as socialist countries, it is bloody. This is a complete change in the modes of production. And it's just like a complete change in lifestyle. And we already know every country that went through industrialization, I mean, it was a bloodbath. We don't know would reindustrialization look like. Like, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, this would be, like, insane to witness. Yeah. Like, I don't even, like, really know how to put it into words. It's completely unprecedented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. President Xi, sir, you may fire when ready.
Yeah.
Your soldiers are in position. Just, please liberate my people.
Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I say people. What you gonna do? You gotta get on the groove if you want your body to move. Tell me, baby, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really won't take a chance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. When you're dancing, get down on it. 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 Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. Sha-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. While you're dancing, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Oh, 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 yeah. Get down on it. You move me, baby, when you move. Get down on it. 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 Get your back up off the wall. Get down on it. 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 Get your back up off the wall. Get down on it. Get down on it.
But anyway, yeah. So there's that, and then there's do you have anything else you want to say about tariffs, trade war?
No, I think we've covered it.
I do think that we should talk about El Salvador and the fact that that guy who is like wrongly imprisoned there is 100% dead. Like, did you see like Nayib Bukele and Donald Trump, like both of them saying that, like, so like the Supreme Court ordered Donald Trump to like have ordered that the man I can't remember his name right now, but the guy who was falsely deported, who was like here legally, he was falsely deported and accused of being a gang member, but he's really just like a hairdresser, and he was sent to the El Salvadoran like basically death camp.
Yeah,
and basically refugees and whatnot are being deported to right now in this insane, clearly illegal deal that we've made with Nayib Bukele. This Salvadoran prison, it was basically made for El Salvador. They obviously have like a lot of like gang problems, and the solution to that was to just build a death camp where all of them, like, where people are just extrajudiciously rounded up and put into this death camp in El Salvador. Nobody who's ever gone in has come out, and there's like not a lot of info on it, but it just seems to be like anybody that is affiliated with a gang that gets caught, or like has family members in gangs, or that is some political dissident that they just throw the stamp on that they're, gang affiliated, gets thrown there, and they're being killed somehow. I think whether it's inmate violence, or that there's like actually like dedicated like mechanism to kill people. That really seems to be what's happening.
Right.
And so this hairdresser, he was sent there. The Supreme Court or I think it was like unanimous too, like 9-0. Not entirely certain though. Said that Donald Trump he needed to be returned to the United States. He was here legally and he's not gang affiliated. Donald Trump was just basically like, I'm not going to do that. And then he held a press conference with Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador.
Yeah.
And Nayib Bukele just straight up said, like, I don't even have the ability to bring him back.
Right.
And
it's so funny to me, like, that alone is like, I don't know. I just think that, like, Trump is always posturing, like, I'll single-handedly end violence in the Middle East. I will this, I will that. Yeah. And then he turns around and, like, is like, even myself and the president of the nation we're discussing combined do not have the authority to do this small thing.
Yeah, or
I think they just probably don't know where he is, or he's dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the choice of words that he doesn't have the ability to do that I think that was very carefully chosen words, that his ass is fucking dead. Like, because the reason that the guy fled El Salvador and was a refugee to begin with was because he feared retaliation for like gang violence. And then he just gets sent right back there. Yeah. And he's just like a hairdresser here. And he was here legally. And I would say that there's probably a very good chance that if he didn't get killed by an inmate, then whatever system they have, they're killing inmates, took care of him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's horrifying because I really do think that, like, they're testing the waters for how much they can get away with doing this. And I think that there's a very good chance that they'll start to try to deport maybe immigrants who are pro-Palestine or anti-Zionist there. And I think it's only a matter of time until maybe American citizens who are like political organizers and stuff like that for the Palestine movement end up in El Salvadoran death camp. Like, I certainly think that that's on the table.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for that young gentleman.
No, I know. It's awful.
And then they were joking about, like, oh, you better build some more prisons because I've got some other homegrown criminals I want to send your way.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's spooky. Mm-hmm. Doesn't bode well.
No. Nope. Yeah. This is certainly an unfun administration to be living through right now. Not that we've had a good one ever, but this is like I said, this Trump administration is really shaping up to have the promise of Trump 1. And dude, who knows? Maybe he will just not step down and he'll run for president again and then win again. Because like the crazy thing is that his approval rating really hasn't gone down that much. Trump's.
No, the people that love him, and he won. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, he had mandate this time. He won the popular vote. Like, you know what I mean? And he did like fantastic organizing with like Gen Z, the Zoomers, who even though who are just like obviously like you had like Kamala Harris, fucking just like refusing to go on Joe Rogan and shit like that, and Donald Trump is sitting there going on like every popular like streamer and shit like that, or like, you know, maybe like more right wing adjacent streamers, you know, doing shit with Aiden Ross. Who's that other guy who's got like the mullet and shit like that? I can't remember his name.
What, Theo Von?
Yeah, Theo Von. Yeah.
Dude, I hate that he's been in the fucking, because I think he's so fucking funny. But
he loves Trump.
I know, he's been like totally subsumed. So does like, I mean, all those guys do. All those comedians that I like loved 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I was never like a big fan of Joe Rogan as a comedian, but I did like when he used to talk about buck hunting. Like that shit was cool. And like karate and stuff. Tom Segura, like all those guys have like.
Tom Segura's like, a piece of shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, and his first few specials were hysterical.
It's so funny, dude. Yeah, right? I remember you showing me his very first one.
So and, like,
good.
Dude,
we were like pissing our pants
so
laughing
funny,
at it.
dude.
And then he just turns into such a bittered piece of shit.
Yeah, like once he got rich, he's like been like a he like
hates poor people, and he's like very open about it. Yeah. It's so fucking weird.
I can see that looking back, like in the material and whatever. But basically, just like I don't have respect for anybody that like is a comedian that punches down, but that also like takes these stances that are like at all related to like being anti-cancel culture, like anti-woke or whatever the fuck that means. It's like, dude, just like be better at your job. Like, if you're funny, you're funny. And like those guys are fun. Like Theo Von is a naturally funny guy. Yeah. I think unless he's doing a bit, like I don't know if he's really smart enough to know the difference, but I feel like, or informed enough maybe. Smart's probably not the right word. I don't think you get to be successful by being like a total dummy, but Tom Segura for sure is it sucks. Yeah.
But then
there are still plenty of funny people that aren't pieces of shit, like Bill Burr.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude. Then you have Bill Burr, who's just like, dude, we need to kill billionaires. like just straight up, like it's good for them to feel fear again. Yeah. He's like, these people are fucking destroying the world. We need to fucking kill them. Yeah. Like I do like man. Like I've never been the biggest Bill Burr fan, but it really does suck that just simply saying something like that means that like you're just like better than 99% of people that are like. Obviously, like politically, at least outspoken or something like that. At least in that field. But yeah, Bill Burr's cool. I really like him. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like Donald Trump did such a good job organizing with young voters this time. You know what I mean? And just being, and it's so funny too because like I do want like a lot of these Zoomers I vote from are probably 19 years old, 20 years old, and it's like I mean I guess they were like probably 11. 12 years old when Trump got elected the first time, probably hated him from there. But I mean, just think about how much different you became politically, I guess, when you were a teenager, or how much different things changed. So yeah, I do wonder if there's staying power, like if this is just a Trump thing or like an actual conservative turn for like younger generations. But who knows? Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Sorry, there's a ton of like distracting shit going on here right now. And
I can't hear anything.
Okay, good. I'm hopeful that the at least over the Skype audio, I think I can see some of it cropping up on my audio here, but whatever, we'll figure that out later. It's not easy to record a podcast inside an active work zone. It certainly is bleak, and the only other thing that I wanted to talk about is the university, specifically Ivy League university, like capitulation battle that's going on, where as sort of like a part of this whole trend of like posturing and acting like a tough guy. Trump has basically made like a huge list of demands of like all the leading research universities in the country, and is especially targeting Ivy League schools for obvious reasons, just visibility. Those are the schools that tend to be most internationally known, and it's the easiest way to make a spectacle. But they also tend to receive huge federal endowments for, research grants and things like that. And so locally, famously, Harvard, Trump threatened them if they did not enact a huge laundry list of demands. A lot of it in the name of preventing anti-Semitism, but which basically are just like
anti-Zionism,
and but also just like in a broader sense, like cracking down on free speech on campus. And some schools in the country have been like more than happy to turn into like little fascist havens, like Columbia University, right? Yep. So far, though, and famously, or not famously, prominently, Harvard, just in the last day, officially refused his list of demands and has already been penalized $2 billion of their like $9 billion federal endowment for doing that. And Trump is threatening to pull the whole thing. So it's interesting to watch. I mean, I would hope, even though like I don't think anybody should kid themselves that these like, especially these super wealthy schools, that are so dependent on like legacy students. And people that, kind of transcend the political spectrum. I don't think anybody should be surprised that, like, they, when push comes to shove, like, lean conservative or, like, at least are willing to, like, toe the line for the federal government. But it will be interesting to see, like, how that plays out. And I do hope that that Harvard divests and refuses to capitulate. Yeah. Because the Columbia model is not anything that any major educational institution should aspire to. They have become, in my eyes, like a complete fucking joke. And not that I was ever, never going to go there. But.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, my ass was never going to get into an Ivy League to begin with. But I mean, fucking yeah, Columbia has just they are just so down to brutalize their own students and to just send them into the wood chipper to appease their masters.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. There's not much good going on, except for there is one good thing happening this summer.
Yeah.
However, I will not be able to experience it yet, which is Death Stranding 2.
Oh, sure, yeah, it's right, because you're not a PlayStation boy.
Nope. I know. I was like, dude, I really wish I would like literally. If I had the money, I would consider just buying a PS5 specifically to play that game when it comes out. Because like, I have no idea how long it's going to be an exclusive for Sony. I mean, the last one it took 5 years to come out. So,
yeah, it's that and what else? We just talked about. Oh yeah, the Oblivion remaster that's apparently dropping next week.
Yeah, they've been really coy about. Yeah, I know. I would not pay any money to play that, but if it's on Game Pass, I suppose I will.
Yeah.
But if those cocksuckers trying to fucking charge $70 for that, then
which there's a chance they will, or $40.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay that either.
I would
for a 20-year-old game.
I would pay. I'd pay $30 for it. I could be convinced to pay $30. I would want to see what actually got done.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. Even though, I loved that game when I was younger, but I can't convince myself that I would be engaged for more than like 5 hours before I'm like, I already did this game. Like, why am I doing this again?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun game.
It was a fun game. I'm just not one of these people that just continuously can replay like Skyrim and shit.
Same.
Dude, there are people that they'll just like once a year.
1,000 hours.
Yeah, it's just like there's nothing going on in it.
Same with books though. There's people that will reread a book every year. Yeah, I've never been able to repeat. Like sometimes I'll boot up Skyrim for an hour and like dick around.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like that's fun. Check out the mods.
I can boot up. I think I got like 20 hours into a Fallout New Vegas playthrough a year ago.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Right,
I think we talked about that on this show actually.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like I don't really pay money for that. Yeah. Plus, there is also the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater remake coming out in August.
Yeah.
So obviously Kojima's not involved with that anymore, but it is his game. So two big ones for Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
And then I know that the next game for that Kojima Productions is doing after Death Stranding that they're going to transition more to is called OD, which is an Xbox exclusive that's going to be co-written, I do believe, by Jordan Peele and starring Hunter Schafer. Yeah, Hideo is such a star fucker, dude.
Yeah. Oh, he loves celebrities.
Yeah, I know. He just like anytime like a celebrity is coming around, he'll just be like, "Hey, you want to step into we can do some mocap and I'll find you in something." So I do know, So I do know that there's that one that will be next, and then after that one, after OD, I believe it's going to be a new tactical espionage game called Fizzint, or at least that's the working title. So I guess his spiritual successor to Metal Gear Solid.
Interesting.
Yep. Excited for all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So OD is obviously supposed to be like a some sort of horror game, like survival horror. Although I think there's going to be a social aspect to it too, like Death Stranding. I think that's going to be like kind of like a theme for all of Kojima Productions games. But yeah, I'll be interested to see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What else? Oh yeah. You know what I'm excited for?
What?
Did you ever play Lunar or Lunar 2?
No.
They were great. Like, I think they originally came out for the Sega CD or the Sega Saturn. Yep. But then they were remastered and re-released for the PS1. JRPGs, but like really good. Mm-hmm. And people have been like begging for them to be re-released in some capacity. Because like, unless you want to spend, and the old PS1 discs are like hundreds of dollars now. They're
dude.
super expensive because people
Retro
love
games
that
are
game.
so fucking expensive.
Yeah, especially the ones that like people like, right? Like
Yeah.
you can get shitty ones cheap, but like
Yeah, dude, I should have like kept all my N64 and shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude. Like you could like sell like systems for hundreds of dollars. Like games go for hundreds of dollars and shit.
yeah.
It's like, damn.
So the Lunar games had been like really shittily ported to like iOS like 10 years ago, but those were universally reviled and like not considered real. And so yeah, Lunar 1 and Lunar 2 are getting bundled together and re-released completely remastered with like all new voice acting and stuff. I mean, they're 2D like pixelated games, but they had like all these anime cutscenes and all the characters were voice acted, which was cool for a game back then. And so yeah, it's I'm excited for that. That was a fun game. I don't know if it'll hold up to, when I was 11, but excited to play that. That comes out in like 2 weeks.
Nice. There you go.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, I know you don't want to go too long today.
Yeah, my legs are starting to go nuts.
Yeah,
so.
and I literally like all of a sudden now my phone is blown up about. We're just in the middle of a bunch of upheaval, the two of us.
Yeah.
So thank you for bearing with us. We're trying to still do a podcast amidst the ever deepening crises of our lives.
Yes.
But yeah, we love you all very much. If you are interested, if you are willing and able, and like, look, I get it. We're, when we go through these periods where we're not putting stuff out, I understand if you guys aren't, looking to donate to us, but we always appreciate it. And we do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/leftunread. We do ask, as always, that you visit that URL rather than using either the Patreon app or links through like your podcast app on an Apple
it'll
product.
take you straight to Patreon.
It'll take you straight to Patreon. And then if you do that, then Apple tacks on like this extra fee, and you guys are paying all this money, and we don't want you to do that because we appreciate your generosity enough as it is. And that doesn't go to us or Patreon. That just goes straight to Apple. So we appreciate everybody that already does subscribe. And if you are with Extra and looking to share the love with us in these trying times, we appreciate that as well. Yeah. Anything else?
If you can't donate through Patreon, you can support us other ways.
yeah.
You can rate and review us on your podcast app of choice. That helps us get boosted, and the algorithm gets find new listeners that way. You can also help us spread by word of mouth. You can tell your family, tell your friends about us, tell your tell the people that you are being remanded into a Donald Trump black site with. That hey, once you get out of there, you can listen to Left on Red.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
we hope that everything's still here next week.
Yes.
So that we can have some more
and
content.
I can't wait to see this fascist dog empire crumble at the knees of the inevitable Chinese century. So we got that to look forward to.
Yeah. We do.
Well, President Xi, sir, I do not speak Mandarin. I don't really know what I could possibly do for you guys, but I am willing to defect. Just say the word, please. Or I'm willing to spy. I don't really. Again,
oh my god!
I got a broken foot.
Up, dude. I'm not trying to get this show flagged for your fucking jokes. It's all satire, folks. It's all satire.
I am willing to commit high treason.
Oh my god! Stop it!
Satire parody.
Stop it! Stop it!
Yeah.
Not me. I just want everybody to be left alone. All right. Well, have a wonderful day and night and week, and we will see you guys soon on another exciting installment of Left on Red. All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace.